Get around for Taste of the Valley Tuesday. I have to preface this interview, Chef Randy,
with
I'm not a seafood guy normally. But then again, you've also cooked quail for me, and I really liked it. And I didn't think I'd like quail. Where do we start here, and what exactly were you doing?
Well, one of the benefits of living in Virginia, in this area in the spring, is we have wild morels growing.
Here they are. But you want to make sure, too, that when you use these, they're prepared, they're cleaned, right? Very important.
Correct. Okay. You need to, when you harvest them, you want to cut the bottom off. And also, you want to make sure that you wash them a number of times and that you cook them. So when they're larger, you can see they're hollow. That's why you need to wash them well, because things can get up in there in the dirt. And also, it's easier to eat when they're smaller and they're cooked a little nicer. When you have smaller ones like so, you can leave them whole, and the stems tend to be a little bit closed, so nothing's going to get up inside of there.
Okay, so what do we have here?
So what I'm doing is I'm actually serving the morels with another springtime vegetable, asparagus, and we're going to serve it with a Chesapeake Bay fish called rockfish.
Okay.
And you can most certainly leave the skin on there, but for our purposes, I took the skin off.
Okay.
And to lighten it up just a little bit, because spring you want things to be a little bit lighter, I've decided to poach it in some milk. Classically, we poach it in like a court bouillon or just wine, and then we'll load that up with lots of butter and cream, and then that's our sauce. But this way, what I'm doing is I'm using milk instead of cream, and I use just a touch of butter, okay? And then, I have add a little bit of white wine just to give a little acidity.
A little more taste.
Yeah, and I just seasoned up the fish with a little salt and pepper. So you can see it only takes, you can do this on top of the stove, like so.
Yeah.
So it only takes, smaller pieces only take,
very
5
quickly.
minutes. Let me go ahead and finish this.
Before I devour
the sauce,
it in your presentation.
So we want to crank this up a little bit. And what it does is it will reduce down, okay, and almost make the sauce. And you can add just a little bit more butter just to kind of, what we call to, build the flavor up.
Going for a more spring flavor.
Right. So now on the morels, okay, all I did is I took a little bit of butter and olive oil, and I'm sauteing them and just very lightly in a little bit of salt and pepper with some baby leeks. And then as you cook it, you're just going to hit it with just a touch of sherry vinegar, and that sherry vinegar will also help to cut that, any of that heaviness from the cream or anything like that. And we're just going to pour that nice light sauce right over top of the fish.
So while I'm digging in here, talk a little bit about what the Garth Music Center is doing. They're kicking off 2 weeks from today, right?
Correct. Archduke Weekend. That's our opening weekend every year. And we always do, in the spring, we do 3 days of concerts, followed by a meal prepared by moi. And we on Sundays it's a earlier concert, and we do a Sunday brunch buffet. So
information was just on the screen. Let me give this a taste here.
Okay. The rockfish is a very light fish. It's not real strong.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
I've got to say, you might have convinced me to move over to try a little more seafood at least.
Well, they say it's no reflection on you. They say it's brain food, so there you go.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's get a check of the weather right now. And Viet has some gardening tips.